and welcome to episode 19 of the Breaking Yarn podcast. My name is Mikaylee, I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and this is my podcast where I talk about my knitting, my crocheting, and my yarn dyeing. You can find me online at breakingyarn.com or anywhere on social media at Breaking Yarn. So as you can probably see, I have a finished object. It's completely finished, like ends are woven in. It's blocked, which I'll talk about too. This is my Beak Street Tee. I don't know if you can see the whole thing on the whole shirt. It has a seed stitch ribbing at the bottom, and then it's knit flat in target. I'm sure if you've been watching my podcast for a while, you've probably seen it and you're probably sick of seeing it, and I'm so sorry, but it's finally done and you won't be seeing it anymore. But this is my Beak Street Tee. I knit this out of my quarter round fingering base for all three colors. I used the red is Bleeding Out, the white is Lily of the Valley, and the black is Jane Margolis. And I love how it turned out. This is a pattern that was in my Vertex color block projects book from Knit Picks, and it's a pattern by Bridget Pupillo. And this is actually similar how she knit hers with the red, white, and black stripes. I just loved it. I love the look of it. I had the colors in my shop, so I thought, why not give it a go? This was my first time doing intarsia and also knitting a sweater flat, and I'm so thankful that it actually fits me. I was a little bit concerned since you can't try on as you go with knitting flat if it would actually fit, and it did. I had goals to get this done before I went to the Taos Wool Festival, and I could have done it. I just want you to know, I could have. But I realized that if I did get it done in time, like Thursday night and I was leaving Friday afternoon, if I did get it done in time, I wouldn't have time to block it. And I really didn't want to wear it unblocked to a yarn festival, okay? And also, like, I really needed to block out the sides and the neckline because it was kind of curling and whatever. So I just wanted it to look its best. So I decided to not stress about it. I got most of it done. I just needed to seam up the sides, and I needed to do one arm when I left for Taos on Friday. I didn't worry about it. I wanted to make sure that it was blocked, and I also wanted to record a video of me blocking it. I was a little nervous, I won't lie. With hand-dyed yarns, when you block, sometimes there's color bleed, and I started getting really nervous about that halfway through my project. I was like, if it color bleeds while I'm blocking it and it's ruined, I'm gonna be sad and I'm gonna probably cry. But so I looked up all the tricks, all the tips, all the tricks. I combined it together. I filmed a video for that, and I will be putting that up on my YouTube channel probably sometime next week or the Monday after. I'm not exactly sure. But I will share with you all the tips and all the techniques I used to make sure that there was no color bleed, and how I tested to see if there was probably going to be color bleed even before I blocked it. But obviously, as you can see, it worked out. There was no color bleed, or if there was, it was very minimal. Nothing that would ruin the item at all. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that I'm missing? This pattern has a little bit of waist shaping in it, which I think looks really nice. Not that I have much of a waist at the moment, but I think it looks really nice, and I'm excited to have it done and have another garment to wear, knit garment to wear. So yeah, that's it. Look for the video on blocking. I will probably be we'll definitely put it up on YouTube, and then I will probably send it to my subscribers as well, just as tips for, you know, when you're working with hand-dyed yarns, sometimes it's the risk. So I also, since I've had success blocking my Beak Street Tee, I just wanted to share my now blocked zebra yarn socks. I made these to match my Beak Street Tee, and as you can see, it is pretty perfect. I love even the width of the stripes match, which is kind of crazy. Anna was able to, well, she didn't dye it special for me or anything, but just that it just happened to work out like that. But I did the contrast heels, toes, and cuffs in the red mini that comes with the ZebraYarn colorway in her shop, and I'll link that down below as well. But I had done a seed stitch cuff to match the seed stitch on the arms and to match the seed stitch on the bottom. Not that you can see that well. But now that these are all blocked and ready to go, I'll have to figure out a way to get some nice finished object photos of both of them. Okay, so I only have 2 whips right now, but I have a cast on that is waiting for me to start it. So the first whip, I guess it's kind of a project half done too though, because I actually have one of the socks finished. These are my It's Showtime socks by PNW Purls. It's on her Rainier base, I believe. Yep, Rainier base, PNW Purls. And this is a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 4-ply, 463 yards per 100 grams. And I talked about this last episode, but it was a really cool set that comes with these 10-gram minis. So each of these are 10-gram minis. And then it comes with black and white striping yarn, self-striping yarn. And then it also came with a 10-gram mini for the heel. And so you start at the green end and it fades into white, and then you start with a white stripe so that it continues to fade into the black and white stripes. Do the contrast heel, and then continue on your stripes until you get to your white stripe, and with a white stripe switch to the 10-gram mini and finish out your toe. So it's a really fun sock set. I believe it's Beetlejuice inspired, so it will work for the Spooky Socks make along that Moonglow Fiber Co and Nitty Natty and the Crazy Sock Lady are hosting. And she said whips are allowed, so I have one done, and the second one I have started. Sorry, the yarn is kind of messy here. I have I'm on the foot, and I have started the fading into the darker purple color. So I suspect that I will have these done maybe even by this weekend. That would be awesome if I can get those done. And I am keeping this sock whip in a bag by Fate's Thread, Shayna Fate's Thread. Yeah, and this one I talked about I got because of my daughter, and she has CHD, so it reminded me of her. And Anna had told me though, like, if anybody actually had this rhythm, they would not feel very well. So I thought that was funny. But yeah, so hopefully I'll have these done, and then I will have another finished object. So the last whip that I have started are my Arethusa Falls socks by Lauren of Granite State Yarns. Here's the pattern. It's in black and white, so it's not super amazing to see, but it is a patterned sock on the front and on the back a little bit. There's some ribbing texture on the back. Oh, maybe it's only on the leg. Oh, maybe it's only on the leg. Looking at the picture, I think the back ribbing is only on the leg, but we'll see. I'm not that far into it, and this is a paid for pattern, so I don't want to give away too much. But she is doing a knit along for these socks right now, I think until the end of October. It's the Arethusa Falls, is it Arethusa Falls Socks Knit Along or just Arethusa Falls Knit Along? I can't remember, but I'll put it down on the screen for you. And I just started these last week, but obviously my focus has been getting those other ones off my needles first, but I'm knitting these on 9-inch circulars, and I have my cuff done. I guess it goes like this technically. My cuff. And then I started the patterning a little bit. I'm in the second repeat, and there's a little bit of patterning on the back as well. And the yarn I'm using is also from Lauren of Granite State Yarns. This is in her Berry Picking colorway on her sock base. And yeah, it's moving along. You know, patterned socks are a little more of a challenge for me because you can't just pick up and knit, you know, out on a walk until I memorize it. And I haven't memorized it quite yet, so it's still a little bit of a challenge, and I've been trying to get these ones done so I can focus on these instead. But these are in a bag that I also got from Shayna of Fate's Threads, and it's the periodic table in like purple and blue and white, and I just loved that. So the last project that I have isn't started yet, but I signed up to test knit the Steekleen. It's a little cardigan for a child, baby, or like up to 4 years old that you will steek. And I've never done steeking, so the pattern was designed by Gabs of Slip Sis, and she wanted a way to practice steeking without the intimidation of doing it on a full-size sweater. So I think that's genius to do a smaller child sweater first. And so I signed up to do that test knit, and I'm going to be doing one for my daughter. I had wanted to do a sweater pattern for my daughter anyways, for her second birthday that's coming up soon. So I figured, why not make it a cardigan? And then I can learn how to steek as well. So I figured that would be very helpful. So I am going to be doing hers in Marie Schrader. This is a worsted weight, so this is my Swish worsted weight base. And I have 2 skeins wound up and ready to go. One of them is in, I'm gonna try to do center pull on this again. I have failed doing center pull in the past. I end up getting yarn barf, and then I end up spending a lot of my knitting time unwinding yarn, which is not what I want to do when I'm sitting down to relax and knit. So I saw that Lauren had talked about on her podcast these little yarn cozies that she got from Midwest Stitches. And so I popped over to her shop. I picked up a few. This one is cute polka dots. Oops, sorry, it's trying to focus on me. This one's cute polka dots. And then I also got this one that's pink and white polka dotty, but like not uniform polka dotties. So I'm gonna try to do center pull on it, and we'll see how that goes. And this was a part of my acquisitions as well. Midwest Stitches, Danielle Wilburn. Oops, that's not focused. I don't know. Midwest Stitches. Okay. So that's my plan for that. And I think I just need to have it done before my daughter's birthday for the test knit portion of it. And so I have more than enough time to do that. So I think I'll try to cast on this weekend. The last thing I wanted to talk about was that I released my slip stitch heel cowl pattern on my website and on Ravelry. It's available as a free download. This is basically one big slip stitch heel flap. I love knitting the slip stitch heel flap on socks, and so I wanted it to be in a larger project so I can get that slip one, knit one meditation of knitting for longer. So I went ahead and created this pattern for a cowl. It has a twisted rib on the top, and then it goes into the slips and the knits, and then twisted rib on the bottom as well. This is a good one skein project. I did use up almost the entire skein of my Swish DK base, and this is the colorway Lily of the Valley. So I will link that down below if you want to download it. You can get it from my website or from Ravelry for free. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who has already downloaded the pattern. It really means so much to me. You have no idea. I really appreciate it so much. And I will say that I was still just as nervous to publish a free pattern as I have been to publish my paid for patterns. So I still put just as much, if not even more, time and effort into this pattern as I have my other past patterns as well. So know that it comes from a place of a lot of hard work. But I'm glad that I was able to get it out. And my testers, oh my gosh, thank you so much to all of my testers. I will quickly run through some pictures here of my test knitters. There were some amazing color combinations, and I included in the pattern options for doing two-toned. There were two different types of two-toned that were knit up as far as the test goes, and so I wanted to include instructions for how to adjust for those in the pattern itself. So thank you so much to all of my test knitters for testing out the pattern and giving your time and your skills, and also your feedback on things that could have been clearer or things that I needed to add. So I really appreciate you all doing that for me so much. If you want to be a test knitter for me in the future, please sign up for my newsletter. I try to give my subscribers first dibs on any test knitting opportunities before Facebook or Instagram. So a little insider tip there for you. I think that's, I did mention I went to the Taos Wool Festival last weekend with my friend Lisa. We had a wonderful time. I will link down below. I filmed a vlog of the weekend so you can kind of get a glimpse of the trip and kind of what the Taos Wool Festival is like. And then I also filmed a separate haul video. I knew that I didn't want to make my acquisitions section of the podcast so long with all of my acquisitions that I got from the Taos Wool Festival. So if you want to see what I picked up at the festival, make sure you watch that video. I'll have that link down below. If you have been enjoying my videos and my podcast, please consider subscribing to my channel. I am planning on doing a big giveaway for when I hit 1,000 subscribers, which I'm getting really close to. So thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, I will do a big giveaway, and yeah, that'll be really exciting. I think that's everything today. Thank you so much for joining me for episode 19 of the Breaking Yarn podcast. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.